656 Pure. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs had a rough night falling in Houston to the Rockets 111-106 as they were outscored 29-14 in the fourth quarter, blowing a 16-point lead at one point. They will return to action tomorrow night when they take on the Jazz in Utah. 12th-ranked Texas Tech rolled Baylor 92-73 last night, and about to tip off, you got Texas in Lexington against the Kentucky Wildcats.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. I appreciate you joining me, however you may be joining me. Whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in listening live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching the show live on YouTube, if you are, appreciate you. You can always watch all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, like and subscribe while you're there. Set the notifications so you know when we go live, whether it's the Morning Huddle, the Blitz, or right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. And you can comment along with the show as it happens. Jacob Barrett, Fred Records, Corey, and Ram all already in the bullpen. Or, of course, you could already just feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. And I mentioned it in Sports Center. The Spurs, they had a rough one last night. Wook wants to talk about it. Wookie, welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure, my man. What's going on? It's good to see you on Monday night out there at the Roof Hub. I hadn't seen you in a hot minute.
Oh, man, I always love seeing you, brother. You saying that, that's a perfect way to just segue to this. Me and you known each other 15 years, give or take, probably more.
Sounds about right.
In those 15 years, have I ever been shorter than you? Have I always been the taller person?
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing that if we played basketball and I'm taller than you, I'm going to go underneath. I'm not going to shoot fadeaways. I'm not going to shoot just a bunch of threes thinking I'm Steph Curry. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to go down there and try to beat you with my height. Well, you know, the reason why I say that is I understand that Wemby is this alien of a freak. I get it. It's cool when he shoots these turnaround threes, the logo shots, everything. That's cool if it's NBA All-Star Weekend. When you're on a team, you have to be a leader. And I can remember way back in the day, I heard a whole bunch of people during the Blitz saying, back in the day. One of my favorite ones was when Avery Johnson, knee-high to a grasshopper, went up to David Robinson, who was built like the first freak on this in the NBA, yes, and said, God would be disappointed in you if you didn't use your abilities that what you have. Avery Johnson went up to a mountain of a man. Of course, David won't ever do anything, but still, he called him out saying, you're the leader, act like it. Nobody is doing that to Wemby. And here's the thing. You're 7'5", man. That's what I'm going about. You're 7'5", playing the paint. And I think a guy called in earlier and saying, hey, if you shot a shot with Popovich and 8 seconds was just off the clock, you sat down. Mm-hmm. That's fine. You've got to do these things because here's the thing. Wemby, we want him here for life. I don't want him to go there. But Wemby, if you're listening, I am PO'd at you. And Mitch Johnson, I'm blaming you first. So you're going to be a leader, act like a leader. You got that height, get under there, and don't shoot 9 threes. Give me 9 bunnies in the paint wow, that's 18 points. We probably would win.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Absolutely. That's why we're friends.
Look, I love Wemby too, and I get it when a shot's not falling. It's frustrating. But we can both agree that Alperen Şengün outmuscles Wemby down low.
He's a beast. Absolutely. But why would you back down? Why would you back down? You still go in there with the skills he has and see if you can get some foul calls. If not, bring in Cornette and let him play him and play off that. Play the double twin towers, something like that. You're just giving up before you even try is how I see it.
I get it. But we've spent a lot of time complaining about Wemby's injuries. And a lot of that has to do with, especially I think in the last 2 years, there has been an emphasis on him playing down low more. And I enjoyed seeing him step out because I think playing down low is affecting him physically and just wearing him down because he's not built for that. He is built closer to my body build, which is not very conducive to playing down low in the paint against guys that want to destroy you down low. I mean, you see Joker's arms after every game. It looks like he's literally came out of a bare knuckle boxing brawl with the scratches
UFC.
up and down his arms,
Right. Well, let me put it this way then. I guess as a Spurs fan we are spoiled. David Robinson gave us the great years. Timmy is, to me, the GOAT of the position and top 5 of all time. We're spoiled. And that's probably why I feel the way I do. But let me put it this way. I playing the devil's advocate, like you said. If you're going to be a Spurs fan, then you just can't love them like you did the other teams. Because if Wemby ain't going to change and we don't get somebody that's going to go down there and help them, like I said, enjoy all the all-star games, enjoy all the neat tricks and trick shots and everything, but you're not going to see banner number 6 ever hung up unless that changes.
I don't think so, because I will say Wemby just needs a partner, and I think Cornette's a perfect yin to his yang. Tim Duncan always had a Rasho or a Fab or a Malik. They had the guys to do the dirty work down low for him, so he didn't have to do it, right? Tim was never the guy that had to do that. So it goes on Mitch. And part of it, too, is just drawing up plays to where Wemby can get the switch onto somebody that he can take advantage of. So I don't put as much of it on Wemby as I do on Mitch. And there's a lot of things to not like with Mitch, like Jason was saying earlier on the Blitz. And I agree wholeheartedly. Like, when things are spiraling out of control, what are you saving your timeouts for? Take one. Like, bench somebody if they take a shot within the first 15 seconds of the shot clock, whatever it may be, but you've got to stop the bleeding at some way, shape, and form, and you can't continue to do the things that have let this lead slip away.
Right. No, I got you. Well, if it continues, all I'm going to ask is, since we've been friends, get bail money, because I'm going to have a pitchfork down there in my hand at Frost Bank, because I can't put up with this crap anymore, man. But hey, I'm going to let other callers call in. Good seeing you. I see you out the room, and everybody else come out to the room. It's fun.
Yes, sir. Look, always appreciate it, my man. That was awesome. And seeing you at the Roo Pub was awesome, because I went out Monday night while the Blitz was out there for a little bit when I got back from Dallas, and then had to go home and decompress finally from what was a long bachelor weekend. But it was fun. It was fun to get out to the Roo. It was fun to see a bunch of people out there, hang out, have a few beers before I ended up calling a night and watching the championship game at home. But man, I get it. And there should be vitriol towards things going on, but this is a team that's taken a massive leap forward this year as well. It is easy to criticize and critique, but it's a team that's growing from coach to player. They're all growing into their roles. They're all kind of new, and you've only got a handful of seasoned veterans on this team, actually. The Harrison Barneses, the Luke Cornettes, the guys that can bestow that wisdom and championship monikers that they've gotten through other programs back onto the San Antonio Spurs. And they're all learning and growing together. Now, this has been a thing with the fourth quarters, the second half collapses with this team, but we haven't seen the complete just meltdown. We have seen them only lose back-to-back games this season. We haven't seen the 3 and 4 and 5 game losing streaks yet, which is nice. And it means that this team has learned and developed and grown and gotten better. They need to continue to do those things if they want to continue to grow into what we think this team can eventually become, because they are far ahead of schedule and they took a massive leap forward this year. And I think they're still growing this year. And I think these are issues that can be all fixed, whether it's over the All-Star break or whatever it may be. But I think this is something with some reflection and some time for the staff to look at their own mistakes as well as the players. I think this team can come back on a roll coming out of the All-Star break once they're finally able to do kind of a self-scout and a reevaluation of themselves. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, Morning Huddle was talking about this game and their loss to the Rockets. What did AJ and Rob have to say as they got just the earliest chance to react to what was an extremely disappointing, I don't want to call it choke, but it was definitely a big letdown watching a 16-point lead disappear when you're outscored in that fourth quarter 29-14. Rob and AJ on the Spurs and Rockets and what they need to do to fix the issues that plagued them. That's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely, and you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe charging.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at the Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Your holiday decor is down and suddenly your house looks very January. Kohl's can help you bring the spark back. No twinkle lights needed. Save on bedding that feels like a snow day. Decor that'll boost the mood. And Shark vacuums because, yes, you're still finding pine needles. Get an extra 15% off some of your fave store-wide. And beat those winter blahs at Kohl's. Select styles. Offer ends January 25th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons do not apply to Shark. See store or Kohls.com for details.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus comes out swinging. Highlight Machine Justin Gaethje collides with Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in a must-see high-octane main event. Plus, Sean Sugar O'Malley faces off against Song Yadong in a stand-up war filled with high-level striking. Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Stream UFC 324 live on January 24th, only on Paramount Plus. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me tonight. Of course, you can always react on our YouTube page. Seeing a bunch of y'all in there. Eagle fan, yeah, I left a little early. I left at about 5 o'clock. If you missed me at the Rue on Monday night, don't worry. I'll be back out there. You're all invited. I'll let you know next time I head out there. And we have been talking Spurs earlier to start the show. Wookie called in to talk about it. Now, Ram, who I saw in the YouTube chat a little bit earlier, called in as he wants to talk some Victor Wembanyama. Ram, what's happening, man? What's going on? Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge.
Hey, what's up, Pledge? I just want to say thank you for preaching what I have been saying for these past couple of weeks to my coworkers or to people I see on the street or at HEB. The thing is with Wemby, we love it when he does good and when the shots are hitting. But that's his style of play. We can't change what he's been born to play. In Paris, you look at his film, he's been playing on the outside all the time. Every now and then he will go down low on the block, maybe make a spin move towards the basket and dunk it behind the rim, and that's awesome. But when he's banging down low with Sengun, who I said is a dirty player, if you see that first game in that first matchup, he kind of threw a nice shoulder to his chin, and I don't think the refs saw that. But that's besides the point. I know Mitch has to learn with this team as well. This is his first year, and we're halfway through the season. We expected this team to finish at least 6th, barely making it to the playoffs, or maybe to the 7th seed. Right now, we're in the 2nd seed in the West, which is a dominant conference, which has been for the past couple of years. And I think this team just needs to learn how to grow. And who knows, maybe when Devin Vassell comes in, we can space out the floor with another pretty good shooter. And maybe Wemby can get down low more and does what he has to do. And I think that's all that has to I think we just need to be patient and let this team grow.
I appreciate it, Ram. You're right. Like, everybody sees 7-5 and thinks a lot of in a lot of ways the same way it used to be back in the good old days of basketball. You're over 6'10", you go down low and work with the big men. Wemby is not that, and his build isn't that. It's like why Kevin Durant never wanted to be listed over 6'10", because he was afraid of the stigma that followed the height, and his skill set wasn't that. And you don't see guys asking Kevin Durant to go post up and play in the post for 48 minutes. It's not conducive to his body style or his type of play. Wemby is closer to Kevin Durant than he is Shaquille O'Neal. That's just facts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people want him to put on like 10 pounds during the game to go down low, and it's like, that's not going to happen, you know? I mean, I wish there was Zach Randolph still left in the game. Who knows? Maybe get a Draymond Green in for a year or something. Or maybe like a player like Derek Queen that's in New Orleans right now. A big body player like that would be great for us. But maybe we could scout that for next year's draft or something.
And look, that's part of it. Like I said in the first segment, Tim always had his protector, whether it was Malik or Fab
DeJuan Blair.
DeJuan
Blair. My guy.
He always had some sort of protector down low that helped him from having to defend for 48 minutes on the center. That's why they always called Tim Duncan the greatest power forward of all time, because they brought somebody else in to take the center away from him. But look at it. Tim played center. Centers guarded him, and he guarded centers when it came down to crunch time. It was the greatest lie ever told to everybody in the world was Tim was a 4.
Heck yeah, man. Oh, I'm getting home right now, so I'll catch you later, Pledge.
I appreciate it, Ram. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate you. Call back anytime. And look, it's time to accept what it is. Do we want to see more? Like when the shot's not falling, maybe design some plays to get you down low? Sure. I don't need to see him banging down low for the entire game. It's not good for him. It's not good for his health. And it's probably not good for the Spurs either in the long run. But there are ways that Mitch Johnson can get switches onto smaller players that can allow him to dominate down low the way a lot of us want to see him dominate down low. And I think that falls more on coaching than Wemby, but Wemby's a smart enough player to also be able to, I need to take advantage of these mismatches when they happen. Earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, Rob and AJ talking about that Spurs loss to the Rockets.
Man, I guess let's have the difficult conversation about the San Antonio Spurs melting away another late lead. The third time this season the Spurs have found a way to blow a lead of 15 points or more. I mean, they jumped out on the Rockets like it was going to be a blowout.
Because we broke their rim to stunt their confidence.
Yeah. And then the fourth quarter was just a complete nightmare. And this was, there are games where, your best players just aren't going to have it. Wemby just didn't have it. And quite frankly, I don't think Wemby, there was a path to success for Wemby, and I don't think he was interested in taking it.
No, it wasn't. I mean, the loss was beaten out of him, physically beaten out of him. When the Rockets got down by 16 points, it became, what do we got to lose? And it was physical to start with. They were trying to be, but the Spurs were much more active.
Yeah.
And then they started taking the abuse, and it was abuse. Houston got real physical. And for about 8 minutes, the Spurs were bobbing and weaving. They didn't try to attack the physicality. They just gave what the defense gave them, which was threes. And when you're just taking what the defense gives you, you're going to give them the lead.
Yeah.
And they gave them the lead. What's that old saying? Once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern.
Yeah.
So we're now at a pattern. And some of it lies squarely at the feet of our young coach. Squarely. And I think he'd be the first one to tell you, I blew that. That was me. I didn't handle that well. But it does come down to the Jimmies and Joes on the court. And you're going to have to just get tough. You're going to have to put on your big boy pants and go inflict a little bit of the beating. Last night, they turned Wemby into a guard. They turned a 7'5" dude into a crossover dribble, step back, fadeaway 3 shooter, which is fine periodically. You're good at that, kind of. But when that's all you got, you don't got much, brother. And we just faded into the distance. It's unfortunate. I hope everybody on that team's mad. That's embarrassing, man. Now the Nationals are making fun of you. Now everybody's noticing. That was a national TV game, and it was such a good story. Everybody's bald head, everybody having a good run, and we're having fun for 3 quarters, hooping the Houston boys, and suddenly, they got the whooping. I mean, it just got physical, and the Spurs wilted like an 8th grade girls team. I'm out.
Tarek says, where's Fox when you need that veteran experience? When Wemby's off, it's Fox who needs to take over. The problem is that was a game where you needed big men to play big men things. And actually, kudos to Cornette. He didn't well. Offensively, he didn't do a lot, but he fought the good fight on defense, and he got beat up too.
He was swimming up a waterfall, man. There's just so many bigs coming at him.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is the Spurs roster is just not built for super physical play.
Or our mentality.
No, you're right. And the Rockets are. And I think that's sort of the recipe to beat the Spurs is to just push them around.
It's their formula that started 2 years ago when Sengun just absolutely embarrassed Wemby, embarrassed him on their court. And from that moment on, and it's an obvious strategy, beat the hell out of the skinny dude. I mean, it's an obvious thing to do. But Houston began it and has continued to refine it to the point where the referees accept it. We're going to let you do that at home. Now, they try to do that in San Antonio. They're going to have 2 dudes foul out. But when you're going against Jabari Smith, Amir Thompson, and Sengun on that front line, dude, that's some bruisers.
And Capella.
Capella's the old wily vet. They know how to do this professionally, and the Spurs don't. They're a bunch of kids taking what's given them.
I forgot about him.
Well, we made him a star last night.
Yeah.
But it was one of those games where you go, there is the fatal flaw. When and if the Spurs lose, it'll be partially because of that, what we saw last night. So if there's one thing to fix between now and April is being more competitive. There's no crime in losing to a team that's 15-3 at home. It's no crime.
It's just to lose a 15-point lead is always a crime.
By the nuts. You had them. You were staring at them and gripping hard and about to put them to bed, and they punch. Well, they didn't even really punch you in the jaw. They kind of tickled. They kind of slapped you, and you took it.
Colby says Mitch isn't capable of telling Wimby to get out on the block and off the free throw line. Ime outcoached Mitch, and that's becoming a common occurrence. I don't know. I don't know how much Wimby could have done it down in the post. I don't know that like the Rockets made a conscious effort to say you're not going to be here.
No,
and Wimby physically isn't capable of bullying those dudes around.
But you have to dare. You have to step in and you got to take your licks, man. I don't know how else to describe what you have to do.
You can't just shoot 53s.
Yeah, you can't just stand out there and take what they give you because that's the plan, man.
And especially when you have an early lead, what that team they just want you to shoot threes.
Yes.
Usually, it's like in a football game. If you get out to an early lead, what's going to happen? You're going to start running the ball. If you get a lead in basketball, what's going to happen? You're going to run clock and try and take high percentage shots.
Yes.
And instead, it was like they were taking rushed 3-pointers because they thought like, oh, finally, no one's within 6 inches of my face. I'm going to let one fly. It's just not a recipe to hold on to leads.
And we talked that, and the offense is one thing, and the threes are going to be kind of an ongoing thing. Thanks goodness for Champagne for at least padding.
He played really well.
He was like the guy on a college team that used to be there for the grade point. Well, last night he was there to help our 3-point percentage.
Yeah.
But because he didn't offer a whole lot more. His defense is atrocious. You lose 15-point leads, 16-point leads because you don't play defense. You get beat up on offense. But you give up leads because you're not getting back. They're getting fast break points right and left. And you talked about it just now. The rushed offense, why? Just because you turned it over the last 2 times doesn't mean you got to hurry back down here and take a shot to make up for it. And it's those little things that youthful basketball players do because they don't understand or get the system as it's supposed to be played. That when you run the same thing, whether you're down by 25 or up by 25, we run the damn play.
Yeah.
We do. And there's plays and then there's offense. So there's one thing to run a play. There's another thing to just get into your offense. Get in and start moving. And I know they're standing in the lane and they're giving you a knee every time you come across. I know they're giving you an elbow you're going to have to fight through it, man. And we'll give you an ice pack at the end of the game. But last night they just gave in.
The non-Champagne 3-point shooters for the Spurs last night went 6 of 34.
Yeah, thanks, Julian.
And that's about somewhere around 17, 18%. That ain't great.
That's pathetic.
And when you're shooting with the kind of volume that the Spurs shot with last night at such a low percentage, it's asking to lose. It really is. And Spurs didn't get to
of course you're not getting to the free throw line.
You didn't deserve to get to the free throw line because you were scared to go into the paint. And so when you only get 10 points at the line, they get 22 shots. That's what's going to happen, man.
So there's a reasons and excuses. And, reasons are things happen for a reason. And then there's excuses. Well, and that's not because you did or didn't do something you should or shouldn't have. There's a lot of excuses last night. That was embarrassing.
The problem is
no, we can't have that.
This is the way games will be officiated in the playoffs, no matter where the game is. And the Spurs right now don't look like they are built for the physicality of a playoff basketball run.
That may be true because it does become, as we've seen, much, much more physical in the postseason. Calls, whistles are swallowed by refs, and they let more things go. The Spurs need to learn to play through some of this physicality. And if you are going to try to draw the fouls yourself, because playing from the 3-point stripe out doesn't give you the advantage when it comes to creating fouls, which makes making scoring droughts less of a thing so that you can get to the line by drawing fouls. And they have slashers, whether it's Dylan Harper or De'Aaron Fox or Stephon Castle. They have the guys that can get to the rack, that can create the contact to help make the refs make those calls. And when they go into these 3-point droughts, I'd like to see them do something to try and attack the basket more, to at least invoke the refs to try to make the call and give them a chance to get some points at the line, which is something that when we see these big leads slip away, they're not playing outside in. They're not playing inside out. They're just playing outside. And that's something that does get tough to watch at times. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Earlier today on the Blitz, got a little weather update for you. No, not Joe Reinagle and his handy-dandy weather app. I'm talking about the one and only Bill Taylor from Kins 5 San Antonio. He joined the Blitz as we try and prepare you for what could be a very eventful weekend here in San Antonio. Ted Cruz already making his way out of the state. Could that be a bad omen for San Antonio? We'll discuss when we come back here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Everyone says time is money. Time is not money. Money is better than time. You know what's better than money? More money. That's how we're changing the game at GiveMeTheVin.com. We're giving you more money for your car. It's a big transaction. We're important to that transaction. GiveMeTheVin.com. If we don't beat a CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me tonight. Take you up to 7 o'clock. We got Aggie basketball. Speaking of Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, they take on Mississippi State. Pregame at 7:30 right here on your home for the Aggies. San Antonio Sports Star is brought to you by Just Pots. Still more Spurs conversation going on. As Spurs Nut 99 says, on the Spurs, Castle's been a turnover machine, easily giving away 6 to 12 points a game on those careless passes, and they turn into easy layups. That's getting to be a problem. And I don't disagree. They've got to clean up the turnovers. They've been a little bit sloppy with the basketball. I expect them to grow. I expect them to get better. They have gotten better. There are some bugaboo issues that still are a fly in the ointment, if you will. But this is a team that is still in second in the Western Conference and playing extremely well, only trailing in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So while there is a lot that they can clean up and get better at, they have come a long way from last year to this year, where they were drafting second overall and took Dylan Harper. So just remember that as we continue to pile on the Spurs. This is a team with a trajectory heading in the exact right direction with an arrow pointing up. So a lot of people been meal prepping, just finished grilling, did a part of some a pot of carne asada, some rice and beans, got sausage, wrapped the pipes. Fred Record says, if Ted Cruz is leaving town, be safe, San Antonio. That grid's going down. Now, apparently he is supposed to be back in time. This is a planned thing. He's got a speaking engagement in Laguna Beach and will be back by Friday. So take that for what it's worth. But we know the weather's getting bad, and we want San Antonio to be safe. So we called in Ken's 5 chief meteorologist, Bill Taylor, as he joined the Blitz. And I'll tell you what, it's really hard to pick Bill Taylor and Joe Reinagle out of a lineup. Two look so strikingly similar, so much so that they get confused for one another all the time. But on a serious note, the weather, it is going to turn bad. So what did they do? They open up making a joke about the weather.
When I see you around, I don't want to talk about the weather.
Wrap the pipes. What else do you have to do? When
Bring
it
your
gets
people
going?
inside.
Bring your people or
Your
plants,
pets.
the peas,
Plants.
pets.
Don't pee outside this
No.
weekend. It'd be cold.
Well, it probably would freeze. I would imagine it's supposed to get
Shrinkage.
pretty chilly. This is the Blitz. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minnick.
You know, with extreme weather, you go to the best. Bill Taylor from Ken's TV. Dude, I was watching you last night.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, brother.
Trying to figure out what's going on this weekend. What is the actual timeline of when we expect the bad stuff to get here and then get the hell out of here?
Well, I thought the most important thing is what you guys said first. Wrap your pipes, boys.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yes,
Come on
sir.
now. Yeah. This is going to be a major winter storm, man, and there's going to be significant impacts across. I'll just say the state of Texas. I got good news today as the moisture looks to move out a little bit quicker. And if that happens, then we've got less potential of icing in the city. So what I'm seeing is maybe up to about 1/10 of an inch at the most across San Antonio and the metro. You drop into the hill country, we're looking at upwards of 1/2 an inch of accumulation. Now, let me back up and get into the timeline. So the timeline, we're probably looking at Saturday night into Sunday morning for something frozen. We're expecting to see, I would say, cold rain all day Saturday. But once we get to Saturday evening and those temperatures get below freezing is when you're going to start seeing that little sleet mixed in. But we won't accumulate. The nice thing is we're going to hit 70 today. We're going to probably hit 72 tomorrow. And then maybe about mid to upper 60s on Friday. So all this warm air going into it helps us because now it's going to be so much harder for the ground to hold and let anything stick. When you're going, you've got to have several days below freezing to really hold anything on the ground for, any more than a few hours. So with that said, we will get cold enough for frozen precip on Saturday evening. And then in the overnight hours, this is what concerns me, is that people go out on Saturday night. Those are the ones that are going to run into the biggest issues because it's after midnight into Sunday morning that we could see the most potential of icing. The good news is that it's Saturday night into Sunday morning. Most folks are home. Most people don't have to go to work on Sunday morning. I've been talking to a lot of churches that are looking at canceling early services and maybe just doing a mid-morning or early afternoon service if they have multiple services. But I think if we get this moisture out by 5 a.m. Sunday, which is what the models are looking at today and suggesting today, then we're going to be in better shape. Once we get the sun up on Sunday morning and into, like 9, 10 a.m. hour when people are going to church and doing their Sunday thing, that's when we should expect to see, again, a little bit less of a threat with some of the roads.
So, Bill, basically what you're saying, overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning is the worst of it, and then we're going to come out of this thing and be okay.
Absolutely. Now, when we say come out of this thing, that's just moisture. The cold is here through Tuesday. I mean, we're going to be in an icebox, man. We won't get out of the 30s until Monday afternoon, and that's going to be barely, like maybe a high of 40, 41. And then on Tuesday morning, another hard freeze. We're going to be in the mid-20s just about every morning with the coldest of the cold Sunday morning with a low in the mid-20s and wind chills in the teens for sure.
Bill Taylor from
But yeah, guys, I think, the big story is going to be North Texas. If you've got family up there, man, like I do, my daughter's in Denton, and I'm really worried for her losing power for an extended amount of time because they could see 2 to 3 inches of ice across DFW. Then you're getting into about maybe a foot of snow. Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, Red River Valley for Texas, and that's going to go east all the way through like Memphis. They're going to be getting some serious snow, and it's a very slow moving storm too. And that's another problem is that it'll just sit and pile up ice and snow for a lot of Texans.
Bill Taylor from Ken's TV joining us here on the Blitz. Bill, as you kind of go through that timeline, Saturday night, if you're going out, make sure you're Ubering or plan to get home a little bit early, right? But once Sunday,
that's a great, yes.
Once Sunday afternoon hits or even Sunday night, that shouldn't be an issue. Like if you're going to be on a flight coming back Sunday night, you shouldn't have any issues. At least at San Antonio International, wherever that plane's coming from could be the issue, but not landing in San Antonio.
Yeah, good point. It's just the de-icing because it's still going to be just brutally cold because we'll get above freezing by probably midday Sunday, maybe early afternoon at the latest. And then I say above freezing, but we're still going to be in the 30s and it's going to still feel like freezing because it'll be a good north wind Saturday and Sunday. But we'll probably get upwards of about 36 or 37 for a high on Sunday. And so at least getting above 32 is the key, and getting the moisture out is the bigger key, and that's going to happen early Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Now I've seen Bill Taylor in action here, and he's going to be looking at those models about 25 million times between now and Friday night. So
I'm sleeping with him at this point, bro.
Are
I'm
we talking
sleeping
about
with him,
Instagram
bro.
models? What do you mean?
Yeah, you've been.
Wait a minute. Are we still talking weather models? Wait a minute.
You've been sleeping with those models for a long time, my friend. So
now I got to get my attorney on the phone. Hold on a
second. So I mean, the chances of this changing again. I mean, and sincerely, and I know it's not an exact science, but the change. I mean, this could change between now and I don't know, say Saturday morning.
Absolutely. No, Joe, great point. Because look, this is not a perfect, science, obviously. And so what I'm telling you now, it is the most fluid situation ever because meteorology and the atmosphere, it is fluid. It's gases. It's always changing. So we will look at data tonight, tomorrow morning, as we get into more high resolution data and getting closer. Now we're getting our better handle. I mean, we can really lock things down by Friday morning. And, but we get this information early enough now that we want to get out ahead of it and give you guys enough time to get prepared. These are the days right now that you want to stock up on what you want in the house for the weekend. You want to gas up your vehicles. You want to make sure you're, charged up on everything. You've got everything in place in case you lose power this weekend. Because now you've got the time and the temperatures to do things outside. Prep your, property if you've got things you want to get done outside. Because once we get to Friday night, you're not going to be wanting to go outside until Monday, maybe not even until Tuesday. I'm telling you, it's just going to be bitterly cold.
Bill Taylor earlier today. You can catch that full interview at sasportstar.com in the audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. Bill Taylor joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line that provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. Eagle Fan 31 says Bill Taylor was awesome today. And he was. Bill Taylor was awesome. Glad that we can bring some awareness to y'all as to what to potentially brace for when it comes this weekend, because I feel like in 2020, when Snowvid happened, like that kind of caught all of us off guard. So having the foresight to be able to look and potentially plan more efficiently, always going to be the best course of action. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. Seeing a lot of comments about the Cowboys. Fred Robert Caceres Jr. says that Jerry Jones is dragging his feet for a DC. He's just going to promote Aaron White-Cotton and save money. We'll discuss where the Cowboys are in their defensive coordinator search as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Hey, I got you something.
What's this?
Just a little Galentine's gift from Jewelry Television.
JTV, I love their jewelry. I had my eye on this pearl bracelet on JTV.com. Plus, I love their colored gemstone jewelry. And have you seen their gold?
Right now, take up to 70% off select jewelry and gifts at JTV.com.
You are not going to believe their gemstones and their artisan collections. Gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
It's the pearl bracelet.
Visit JTV.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome into Extra Innings. A pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Thank you for joining me. No matter where you're joining me, even if there may be a shark in front of it. Dallas Cowboys still do not have a defensive coordinator. I, however, am not fretting. I think they are waiting for their guy to get done. And their guy, to me, is Jim Leonhard, the defensive pass game coordinator for the Denver Broncos. And he looks to be the one that they really have their eyes on, and that they tend to be waiting on. They're finishing interviews. They're doing others. They've talked with Jonathan Gannon. I mean, they're doing all the right things. And coming up in the East-West Shrine Bowl, you're going to get to see Aaron White-Cotton call the plays for the East team as their defensive coordinator. So maybe a little home tryout for him over there at Ford Field. But earlier today, RJ Ochoa joined the Blitz to kind of break down where we are in this defensive coordinator search.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, calling us out for stretching, yawning in a commercial segment.
And being cute.
Well, I think you guys are cute and precious. That was the other word I told Pledge. But I'm curious about, behind the origins of this. Like, you must have both woken up at the exact same moment today. And therefore, your bodies are equally tired to where you needed to yawn and stretch at the exact same moment. Like, think about that. That's really cool. You guys are that in sync with one another.
Well, I'm not sure that we're in sync with one another, but it's kind of a dreary day here in San Antonio.
Maybe one of you's a leader and one of you's a follower. Who do you think actually stretched first?
I have no idea. I didn't know Joe was stretching. I wasn't even paying attention to him. I knew I yawned and stretched. I had to get up stupid early today. I was out of the house by 6:45, which for me, unless I'm going to the airport, never happens. But I had no idea that Joe yawned too until you called us out.
Well, you guys are cute and precious. Just keep that in mind. Feel that in your hearts today.
I've had one 5-hour energy. I might go for a second one before long.
No.
Yeah, I might need a 10-hour boost.
He needs a double shot.
Yeah.
Double shot for minutes.
RJ, about this time last week, we were praising the Cowboys and should praise the Cowboys for seemingly doing this defensive coordinator search the right way, casting a wide net and looking at. I'm honestly a little surprised that they have not pulled the trigger on somebody yet.
I think right now is a little bit of a game of chicken. It's like the opposite of musical chairs in the NFL, right? Like, everyone's like, okay, who's going to be first? Because we're going to pretend we really didn't want that guy. It's a matter of, you want to be right. It's like when you pull, you guys know this, when you pull a piece of meat off, a brisket off, like, you can't go too long, but you can't pull it off too soon. Like, there is that sweet spot right in the middle. And I think the Cowboys are handling it well. Like, look, I will be the first one to drag them and dunk on them. You know what I mean? If they bottle this and just, promote Aaron Whitecotton or something. But I also think that the Broncos are kind of a bit of a logjam here. Jim Leonard is someone who is clearly coveted by a lot of teams. And if we believe he's the prettiest girl in the room, the proverbial second is waiting for him to take a job so that they become the next, right? And so whether the Cowboys wind up with Jim or their secondary choice because he chooses someone else, it's just they're the team that happens to still be playing, and that's tying everything else up all in a ball right now.
I think the Denver guy is in demand, which kind of scares me, to be honest with you, RJ, because if the Cowboys are putting all their eggs in that basket, there's going to be a lot of competition for that guy. I know they've had a lot of big interviews, and a lot of those guys, which I'm happy about, are guys you've never heard of. And I think that's what the Cowboys need to do. And I'm pretty, other than Jonathan Gannon, I haven't really heard about a lot of these guys. And I like the new ideas, the youth, the energy that they're interviewing with these guys. And I'm sure that Schottenheimer's got a list. If this guy doesn't pan out, we'll go after this and so on and so forth. I just think they might get into a bidding war with one or two of these guys. And certainly that's not Jerry's MO.
I'll say two things. That one, I agree with you, first of all, that that's not their MO. But if they got into a bidding war, like people have to say when it comes to free agency, like, oh, they're the most valuable professional sports franchise in the world. And again, I'll hate on this team all day long, but do it right. You know what I mean? Do it in a way that makes sense. And that's a way that doesn't. And so this is an example of where you can wield the might of who you are. You can actually weaponize being the most valuable professional sports franchise in the world. And Joe, I think you're a lot of things, but a coward is not one of them, to be very clear. But I think being scared that he's going to be, the only guy they're kind of going all in on and choosing somewhere else, that's a bit of a coward approach. And look, my main criticism of this team for 2 years now has been that they do not have a plan. They do not have a North Star that all of the energy is geared towards. And I've said before, and I've used these exact same words to you all, I'm fine with that plan if it fails or if I disagree with it, but at least have one concentrated plan. So if Jim is their one concentrated plan and it fails, well, that sucks. But you know what? Damn it, respect. Like, you got everyone in a room to all agree on one thing and you tried your very best. It didn't go your way, but now pick up your pants and do it again. So I'm okay with this approach and understanding we still have to grade who the eventual hire is.
RJ Ochoa earlier today on the Blitz. You can catch that full interview, sasportstar.com via the AA Best Bail Bonds audio vault. Guys, call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life. And a simple, hey, how are you doing, could change everything. Plus, wrap your pipes. Wrap your pipes. Wrap your pipes. It's going to get bad this weekend. Be prepared. Be safe. You don't want any excess issues coming from something that could have easily been prevented with a simple styrofoam plug over the faucet outside. Guys, appreciate y'all for rolling along with me tonight. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Start your morning with Rob and AJ tomorrow on the Morning Huddle from 6 to 10. Blitz from 2 to 6. And, of course, right back here with me from 6 to 7. We've got ESPN Radio to take you down to 7:30. Then Andrew Monaco as the Aggies take on Mississippi State in college hoops. That's all coming up right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, I'm giving my hair salon a total makeover.
Total makeover sounds totally expensive.
We updated our logo and colors, so I needed to print new signage, brochures, business cards, everything.